All right, if you run a venue, you know that inquiries are everything, right? They're the absolute lifeblood of your business. But what if the very process you rely on is secretly costing you time, money, and yeah, even bookings? Today, we're going to break down exactly how to turn that hidden workload into your most powerful asset.
Does this sound familiar? You look at your inquiry process and think, it's good enough. I mean, the emails come in, bookings happen, eventually. It feels like it's working. But is good enough actually holding you back?
And that right there is the big question. Are you really running a streamlined system that's designed to be efficient? Or are you just caught up in a flurry of activity that feels productive but is actually draining your resources?
So let's really dig into this good enough problem. It all boils down to one massive difference: the chaos of just doing things versus the calm of having a real structure in place. So on one side, you've got the daily grind for so many venues, just a reactive scramble of emails, WhatsApps, and calls, all depending on someone remembering to follow up. But on the other side, a predictable, automated flow. It's literally the difference between chaos and control.
And here's the core issue, really. When you're just relying on manual activity, every single new inquiry just piles more work onto your plate instead of smoothly flowing through a process. It just doesn't scale. And let's be honest, it's completely exhausting for your team.
Okay, let's flip the script for a second. This isn't just about making your life easier. We need to look at this whole thing from the most important perspective there is: your potential guest.
Just think about it. For a guest, the perfect experience is totally seamless. They send their details and bam, an instant professional response lands in their inbox with everything they need. But what's the reality for most? They send a message into a black hole, wait for someone to eventually see it, get a custom reply, and they still have basic questions. It's slow, and it just creates friction where there shouldn't be any.
This quote just says it all, doesn't it? If a potential client, after you've sent them your information, still has to ping you on WhatsApp to ask, "So what's actually included?" That is a massive red flag that your system is broken. You're not giving them the clarity they need right from the start.
So, how do we fix all this? Well, the great news is you don't need some super complicated, expensive software. You just need the right flow. Let's walk through the 5-part blueprint to build it.
That's it, just five core components. This is not rocket science, It's all about putting a few simple, logical pieces together to create a machine that works for you.
And here it is, the entire system right here. It all kicks off with a smart form to get the right details. Then, an instant reply confirms you got their message and sends them straight to a central info hub. From there, a clear next step tells them what to do, all backed up by an automated follow-up. Seriously, these 5 simple steps will completely change the game for your inquiry process.
Okay, step 1 is so easy. Please stop using a generic "contact us" email link. A structured form gathers all those key details right up front. What kind of event, the date, guest count. This one change completely eliminates that annoying, time-wasting first back-and-forth email forever. Now, step 2. This is the magic moment, and it's the one so many venues totally miss. The second a guest hits that submit button, an automated email should hit their inbox. It confirms you got their inquiry, it looks professional, and, this is the most important part, it links them directly to your info hub.
And step 3, ditch the PDF brochure. Your info hub needs to be a single dedicated web page with everything. I'm talking packages, pricing, photos, FAQs. This empowers the guests to find their own answers. And get this, it can eliminate up to 70% of those repetitive follow-up questions you're always answering.
And that brings us to step 4, which is all about the call to action. Once a guest has all this information, you can't just leave them hanging wondering what to do next. You have to guide them. Because confusion always creates delay, but clarity creates action.
Now, when you put all these pieces together, it does way more than just save you a bit of time. It fundamentally changes how work actually flows through your entire operation. This is the real aha moment.
So the old way forces your staff to do all this upfront work just to give someone basic info. But the system, it flips that completely. The system informs the guest first, which means your team only spends their precious time with people who are already educated and genuinely interested. It is a total game changer for your team's efficiency.
So what does this big operational shift actually get rid of? All the tedious stuff. We're talking no more manually attaching brochures, no more typing out the same answers over and over again, and no more living in your inbox. The system handles all of that administrative heavy lifting.
Okay, let's talk about the results. What really happens when you stop thinking about inquiries as a workload and start treating them as a system?
The outcomes here are massive. Your responses become instant without you lifting a finger. You get way fewer of those repetitive emails and messages. The guests who do book a viewing show up better prepared and more qualified. And the bottom line, you get higher booking rates and a team that isn't completely burned out. It's a win-win.
And if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. If your team is spending its days manually typing replies and sending the same brochure over and over, you don't have an inquiry system. You have an inquiry workload.
So that leaves us with one final question to think about. In your venue, right now, who's doing all the heavy lifting? Is it your talented staff, who are probably bogged down in admin work? Or is it a smart, simple system working for you 24/7? The choice is yours.